Hi, good morning. Um, so I was thinking about just food, which is one of my favorite things. Ever since I think that was the first thing I said that I ever wanted to do, was to be a chef when I was little. But I was told, no, you can't do that. It ain't gonna make you no money and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Who said I want to do it for the money, you know? But for the fulfillment, which kind of goes back to that reading I did yesterday about, honoring your passions and doing things that make your heart sing versus, it being rooted in a dollar. Like, yeah, we can always get a job. Well, shit, not anymore. But back in the day, back in my day, you could always kind of get a job, for the money to kind of fund your dreams and do whatever else you needed to do with that. But since we're saturated in hardworking Mexicans, they got all the jobs, you know? So, or they're gatekeeping the jobs specifically for them, for their people. Anywho, enough about them. I feel like we're so saturated in Mexican food and labor and everything that, like, are you guys forgetting that Italians really do this shit? This is my humble food opinion for the day. Like, Mexican food is great. Don't get me wrong, I love it. Shout out to Rick Bayless. Shout out to, the abuelas and abuelos out here really making some good stuff. I'm here for it. But, like, I feel like their descendants have drowned us so much in birria tacos and, all these things that we're forgetting about the best foods of our space, like soul food. And that's not to say that Mexican food is hollow and has no soul, but saturated. Like, how many, we even got Chipotle, the fast Mexican food, and then we got, like that's the new McDonald's, kind of, and they work in most of them too. But, like, when I think about soul food, like, I think about meals prepared with a lot of, like, love and care, and, like, people who prepare meals from the struggle, with a few ingredients and making do with what they have. And, like, like, Italians know about a thing or two when it comes to cuisine, and simplicity. It doesn't take much to make amazing flavors come together and, like, really do what they're supposed to do. Like, for instance, I made homemade pizzas last night for me and Trey, and it was just like the mozzarella. I tried a new mozzarella other than Sargento. Yes, I love you, Sargento, but this mozzarella was true, like, I've never tasted anything like it in my life, guys, and it was amazing. Like, I can't imagine what fresh mozzarella from, like, Italy tastes like. And I always said, and I don't really give a shit who calls me fat at this point, I know. But, like, I always said, yeah, I want to go to Italy to see the sights and swim in the Italian waters, but mostly I'm trying to eat. I'm going over there for the food, the cuisine. I want, like, I want the baguettes. I want, like, all of that, all the pasta. Like, I'm gonna gain like 40 pounds on the trip. So it's like, that's what I want to go for, like, to truly just embrace the culinary gifts that they've given us. Because if there's two foods that have always been my favorite, it's for sure Italian food, soul food, and, like, okay, Mexican food too, but like I like Taco Bell. I used to like Taco Bell, so like that doesn't, like I don't. I like Americanized Mexican food. Like I don't know. I can't even say Americanized, but like Tex-Mex it is my kind of lane when it comes to Mexican cuisine. Like I like enchiladas and chalupas and shit like that, and gorditas, and those things have even I've had them from like Puerto Rican neighborhoods, and they were better than like if you go to like Cicero and shit, like where that's essentially Little Mexico. So it's just like anybody can make Mexican food, but like it takes true to cook is an art form, and it takes a lot of skill and just like love. Like you can taste when your food has been made with love versus when it's been made for a dollar. Just like you can taste, well, you can feel in your weed when you smoke it when it's been grown for the sole purpose of consumerism and big business versus when it's homegrown and made by a grower who probably looks like your grandma or somebody. Like you could just tell. It's a difference. The smoke's different, the food eats different. I'm sure there's some beautiful Italian nanas and mamas out there that would love to make me some ziti or something, and I'd love to try it because it's just different, Italians know what they're doing when it comes to food in the kitchen, and they're using things of the earth. Yes, you go to Italy and they say, oh, I've seen people who have traveled there just complaining, so much discourse like, I gained so much weight and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's because you didn't go to truly appreciate the food. You went to go to all the tourist sites with all the crowds and, eat the typical shit. Like, no, you're not out there for the right reasons. And that's probably why you didn't enjoy yourself, There's a difference between people who travel as a flex and those who travel to really dive into somebody else's culture, and see what it is that they're all about. And that makes a huge difference in a lot, your enjoyment, how much fun you're going to have, all those fun things. Anyways, but yeah, it's just, really important to try some other foods. And also, like, I don't know, like, eating out sucks now. Everything is so, like, I don't know. For years and years and years, I had heard so much about Kuma's Corner, this burger place in Chicago. And when I finally tried it, yeah, the people I was with, they fucking sucked. But it was just like, also like, I just wasn't impressed, It was just okay. And that sucks. Because if I'm going to pay to eat outside my home and get dressed and really put that energy into the experience, I want the food to be worth it, because that was my whole point. Right now, y'all better off going to like Golden Corral. Like, it's fine. It's banging. And if you absolutely have to have a drink with your meal, go to the store after and pick up a bottle and take that shit to the crib so you don't have to drink and drive, We're just in a time where things don't have to be so difficult, especially since all the food sucks. Yeah, when we had the Hillary versus Trump election, I said everything sucks, but I wasn't expecting y'all to take it literally. God damn. Like, fuck, shit sucks. But, yeah, I love Italian food. I love soul food. I love, I'm sure there's so many other foods I haven't really tried. Indian food's really good, too. The spice is there. But, yeah, just think outside the box when it comes to your palate. Expand your palate in 2025. Enjoy food.